I was driving on my way to school, and the last thing I did, I looked down at the clock and I was like, oh crap, I'm late, and I sped off. I just remembered when I woke up, people had to tell me what happened to me, and they started just telling me a whole bunch of stuff from there. They were telling me, oh, you can't walk, you can't do this, you can't, and just feeding my mind, and I just became so overwhelmed because I'm like I was laying there and I'm like, I don't understand, like, a spinal cord injury, what do you mean, like, what does it mean to be paralyzed? And I didn't even feel like I was paralyzed. I just felt like I was laying in a bed. And I just remember from there, I just spent so many nights crying, so many nights. And I ended up being in the hospital. My stay was 2 months long, and it happened right in the middle of my senior year. And so I had to take all of that time off. And that was really hard because I wanted to be doing the things, everyone else my age was doing, going out like for Christmas and New Year's Eve. It happened in December, so I spent all my holidays in the hospital, and I remember I was just so upset because I wanted to be out living my life, and I'm like, what the heck, like I feel like my life's on pause, and I'm having to learn all these new things, and how I had to completely relearn how to live my life all over again. I mean, I couldn't even do the simple tasks of getting dressed the same way I used to. I had to learn how to put on my pants, put on my shoes, how to reuse the bathroom, how to shower, how to do all that, that I used to take for granted. I used to just hop out of bed and walk to the shower like it was nothing. And now it became like I had to use my arms for everything, and I had to get in my wheelchair first, and then I was able to roll off and start doing my daily tasks. And I just remember it was just so weird because, this thing was like a foreign object to me, I never had to use a wheelchair before, and I knew nothing about being in a wheelchair. I've seen wheelchairs before, but it's like you don't really think about it until it actually happens to you. At that point, I was just hard because I was like, crap, is life really going to be this hard, for the rest of my life? Is this what I'm going to have to deal with and go through every day? And things definitely get easier as times go on. I know, you just start to get faster and things start to become second nature, and so it just slowly kind of gets better. And I just remember, I had such a great support system, and that's really what helped me a lot. I had such good family at my church and my school. They all wrote me big cards, and they had a big prayer service and prayed for me. And I was getting so many messages about people praying for me. And I remember I've even had random strangers tell me they're praying for me. And for me, I thought that was so powerful. I was like, wow, a stranger is praying for me. That's nuts, because I've never dreamed or thought about praying for a stranger, and if I did, I'm like, what would I say about them, and stuff. And so I thought it was just so cool that people that didn't even know me, I was in their thoughts and prayers, and that just showed me how powerful God could be, and the power of prayer. And so that really, really encouraged me and helps lift my spirits. And I remember my first couple months, it was just so hard to grasp the fact that my doctors told me I'm not going to walk again, and just to imagine or thinking I'm not going to walk again, it really scares me and stuff. And that's why I ended up just putting my full complete faith in God and being like, no, I'm not going to accept this answer. I do want to walk again, and I'm going to do everything I can to make it happen. And so that's why I'm really passionate about my fitness and health, and staying as healthy as I can, doing as much as I can to work out. I go to a special therapy place in Orlando. It's called CORE, and it's a center of recovery and exercise. And so it's really spinal cord injury related and specialized. And so anytime I go there, it literally is the highlight of my week. I feel amazing there. I feel like myself there. And it's the hugest getaway, and it's always a highlight of my day to go there, because I get to stand up out of my wheelchair because they help me. I can't do it by myself, but they teach me how to walk, and they give my body just different stimulation to help try to reconnect the brain with the lower body. I have electrodes, and they put those on my legs, and it gives me electric stimulation, so it'll make my legs move and pump and flex. And so watching my muscles flex is just the coolest thing ever. And even just feeling I'm up and standing. And this past year I've actually been branching out more with all those thoughts and stuff of what I can do. And I actually, for the first time, I got on a treadmill here at my own school gym. And to me, I was on cloud nine. I remember that was the realest moment I've ever felt since my injury the past 3 years. I don't know if I'm going to get up and walk again, it's not a guarantee. My doctors, they can't guarantee me. My therapist, they can't guarantee that I'll get up and walk. But I remember one of the coolest quotes I think I've heard, you do the possible and let God do the impossible. And like that just like, I just loved it because I'm like, that's so me. And like, it was just that much more encouraging to keep doing what I'm doing and stuff. And I mean, having the faith in God, it's like, if I'm not going to walk again on this earth, it's like, I know I can walk again in heaven. And so I think that's like the most beautiful thing about having that relationship and faith with him, is because one day I'll be in heaven with an invincible body. I'll be running and jumping and dancing and, you know, just doing like all those things like I used to do.